All right, we're breaking into Falcons, Washington, Week 17. Tough loss. Falcons' fate is no longer in their hands. They need a little bit of hope from the buddies down in New Orleans to make the playoffs at this point. But we're going to focus on Michael Penix and what he did this week. Thought it was a lot more up and down play from him. You know, I always think he's a guy who, when he's in a rhythm, can be very accurate. But I also think he can struggle with bouts of inaccuracy. So, you know, not the most uncommon traits for a quarterback. But what are we doing here? So you're going to see Drake London coming up here and kind of running this wheel route. You're going to see Ray coming up, kind of settling on a hitch. And then where the ball goes here is to Chris Blair, and he comes up here and kind of runs an in-breaking route. When I imagine what he's supposed to be doing, and we'll make it yellow, is running an out-breaking route. That's just based on what Penix throws and the fact that Blair was benched. If he was running the right route, doubt he would have got benched. That said, spacing-wise, this is a bit of a weird one for me just because I think, you know, I guess I can see where he's trying to put it if he's kind of running this corner, but I just think there's a lot of players in kind of the same area. Like, this isn't common spacing to me. I think it's kind of congested. I get the idea that Ray is basically running a pick route for Drake London on the wheel. I understand that. But even if he's breaking out here onto this ball and he's running the right route, you know, it's just kind of congested. It's just a congested concept to me. So I'm not a huge fan of this call. Obviously, we run the wrong route. The pick to me is both on Penix and Blair. Who knows who's in the wrong? All I know is we didn't run the right route, and we get a pick to kind of derail us early in the game. So tough one. I like Penix coming over here, be in a position, make a tackle, making the tackle. You know, be a football player. All right, next one here, we're going to see Penix absolutely rip a seam throw. Just kind of a seam paired with a dagger concept, and he likes what he sees. He sees middle field open. He sees the linebacker running. Absolutely rips this thing downfield. I love this. I love his aggression to throw this. I love that he puts it on a rope. Only thing I don't like is that we don't hold on to it. And obviously, you know, you're taking a hit over the middle, so it's hard to sit here and say it's a terrible, terrible drop. But it's one of those throws that if you're in the NFL, you get paid to make this catch. So conceptually, again, we're coming up here. We're running dagger kind of with the corner. Drake London's kind of that end-breaking route. And, you know, really, Penix knows from the snap, as soon as he sees that middle field open look, he knows he wants to hit this seam. When he sees the linebacker running, decides to rip it. I love being confident in your drop like that. You cannot be late on these sort of throws, because if you're late on these sort of throws, you're at risk of getting picked off. So this is just really confident read. Top of his drop, he knows where he wants to go. Rip it. Right down the middle between three defenders. You just got to hold on to the ball, man. Help your rookie quarterback out. But in terms of Penix, great read, great throw. In terms of Hodge, you know, you're taking a hit, but that's why you get paid money in the NFL to catch balls over the middle. All right, next one here, we're going to see Kyle getting involved on a bit of a pick route from Drake London. Really decisive throw from Penix against 5 rushers. You know, I like to see him, you know, when they're sending more than 4, get the ball out quick, get it to your tight end, let him break a tackle, make a play. You know, I think that's one of the easiest ways to use Kyle Pitts. Just get him in space, let him try to make a play. I don't necessarily see him as this full down-the-field threat, but right here he makes a good play. And you know, in terms of what they're doing, I like the motion here. Because when you do this motion, what you're enabling here is Drake London to do exactly what he does. Just come up here and kind of get in the way of both these defenders, and that lets Pitts kind of run up behind him, settle right here, and then break outside. So, easy way with the motion, get the stack right here. Again, 11's worried about him breaking over the middle, so what does this allow us to do? Just break outside, create separation with the rub route, and, you know, let our tight end get work done in space. In terms of Penix, again, you can see they're showing this pressure look, and they're going to bring a linebacker. So they're bringing 5. Penix knows where to go with the ball, gets rid of it quickly, not scared from the pressure. That's what, you know, quarterbacking is about. Just have answers ready. If you're going to do this, have easy answers. All right, we talked last week about easy buttons in the offense. Right here, you're going to see play action bootleg, Drake London kind of running across the formation, getting wide open in the flats. And again, we talked about easy offense. This is what Penix lets you do. Again, not the most mobile guy, not the most, you know, creative player, but he can do stuff like this really easily, which is something we hadn't had in the offense beforehand. You know, I like Drake trying to hurdle somebody, but be careful out there, man. So again, they motion in. You kind of see that indicator of man coverage. So when we motion this player in, this player follows. It's not a one-to-one that it's man, but it looks like it. And that's when you're going to see Drake London running across the formation and leaking out to the flat. And then Penix here on the play fake coming up and booting out. So really easy right here. Drake London, wide open. Get it over the defensive end. This is your responsibility as the quarterback. Throw an easy ball. Boom. All sorts of room downfield. I like the downfield blocking as well. Great job from the receivers, letting Drake London get a little bit extra on this catch. So, again, it's a nice play. It's an easy play. Easy buttons in the offense are always important, especially for a rookie quarterback. All right, on this one here, I love the process of getting to Hodge as kind of our final read here. It's just kind of unfortunate that, we miss a throw that's there to be made. It's a tough throw. It's not an easy angle. It's pretty far hash throw, But I think it's something Penix is going to say, I should make this. This is something I'm capable of making. We just sprayed a little bit, is what it is. But in terms of the actual read, what you're going to see here is Bijan kind of just running this quick out to the flat. You're going to see Drake London coming up here and kind of settling versus the zone. And you're going to have tight end here kind of coming up and running this back pylon corner out. And then Mooney coming over, and then the Hodge throw, which is where we go with the ball, coming up and kind of faking out. And that throw's there to be made. We just miss it. But in terms of Penix, you can see he opens to his left. He's looking kind of right here at Bijan. Doesn't like it. All right, let's go to Drake. Drake is covered. The corner throw's not really there either. All right, let's get middle of the field. Mooney's covered. Okay, let's get backfield. So this is a full field read. Great job navigating the play. Great job making the right throw. We just miss it. So this is one of those things that, again, I don't think Penix is as perfect accuracy-wise as some people think he is. This is not a shock to me that he misses some of these throws. I think he is a rhythm quarterback. When he gets in the right flow of the game, he will hit everything. But he's going to have some misses too, especially, in your second career start. So in terms of process, I like him getting to this throw. We just miss it. It is what it is. All right, this is a tough one for me, man. We're just going to see Penix miss the sluggo route, slant and go. Bijan's wide open. If we make this throw, at the very least, we're getting an explosive play. Very good chance Bijan takes it to the house. It sucks. It sucks missing layups like these, and it's brutal because there's nothing I can really say to make a positive spin on this because Bijan does a really good job selling this thing and getting around and going, and we just got to hit the throw. Sometimes these layups can be hard. You just never want to miss them, and we do. So, there's not a ton of analysis into this one. This is just one of those throws that, you can chalk it up to a lack of reps. You can chalk it up to just a miss. You can chalk it up to, maybe it's all the blitzers in his face. Either way, we dialed this up versus pressure. It was there to be made. We just missed the throw. Could have been a big play. So, hopefully going forward, Penix is able to connect on some of these big throws. It really is a game of inches, man. This is so close to being an awesome throw by Penix to Hodge on the go route, and we just barely miss it, man. It's tough. That's as close as you can really get while still missing. It's right over his outstretched fingertips. It's a big throw, too, because this is from the far hash. He's throwing it, 50 yards downfield in terms of air yards, and we're just a little bit out of reach of Hodge. So, again, chalk it up to a lack of reps. That's probably why they're playing Hodge, because I imagine Penix has more reps throwing to him than anybody else. But, he's just going to come up here. He's going to get outside, and he's going to go. And we're going to kind of have it also with Mooney with this over route, which isn't really there. And, it's kind of tough. I think the throw's there. I think he makes the right choice to throw this because right here, you see that little gap of speed. Like, okay, I have all this sideline to work with. I can fade my receiver anywhere over here. But unfortunately, we're just not able to connect. Man, that's a tough miss. That's so close. It really is brutal in a game that, had some playoff implications to it. This is what it comes down to, man. Like, you just got to make some of these throws. And, obviously Penix made a couple incredible throws. We're going to get to those. But right here, that's the NFL sometimes, man. I can't sit here and fault the process. We just got to make a better throw. I like the aggressiveness. I can say that. I certainly like Penix's willingness to push the ball downfield. I think that's a good omen for future success. But it's tough when you push the ball downfield. You got to be accurate. He's accurate here, just not accurate enough. So it's a tough miss. All right, right here, we're essentially running two glorified clearouts to throw the ball to Drake London on a deep out route. Penix does a good job kind of holding his eyes middle initially before slinking to his left and throwing to Drake London, not really giving that corner any big indicator that he's going there. and it allows Drake London to have just an easy pitch and catch opportunity. So, again, kind of funny to me to just be running 2 clear outs. But, I mean, it works, so I can't be too critical. But, yeah, I mean, that's really all we're doing here. And I think for Penix, the thing that stands out to me is that he doesn't kind of lock into Drake here. He's looking middle of the field, so he's not giving, it's man coverage, obviously, so this player is not really watching him. But if the safety was, keyed in a little bit more on him and wasn't manned up on Drake, I think he would have done a good job holding that safety there. And at this point, yeah, there's just so much separation that he has no shot catching this. That's something I've noticed with Penix in general. I think he has pretty good eyes. I don't think he stares a whole lot down from what I can tell because, again, right here, he's kind of looking down middle of the field. All right, let's get left. Let's throw this thing. So suddenness like that, it doesn't really matter on this play because we're looking at like kind of true man coverage and the DB's locked into the receiver. But for me, it matters in terms of process because I think it's just a really good job being patient with your eyes. So great throw. Design-wise, kind of funny, but hey, it worked. It got us wide open, first down. All right, right here we're going to see, Michael Penix able to hit that deep out window to Drake London on the sideline. Again, just very confident with what he's seen, able to throw it with a lot of arm strength, a lot of velocity. And again, just a little bit of minor anticipation on this one. Not as impressive as some of his other anticipation throws he's had, even this game, but also in the previous game especially. But it's still a good rep, so we're going to include it. So again, there's nothing crazy going on here. We have Drake London coming up, just running that out route. We have Kyle Pitts blocking it up, released into the flat. And Penix is just at the top of his drop. He knows where he wants to go. He's decisive, doesn't really get flustered from the pressure in his face, airing it out. So again, anticipation, right? He's letting this thing go. He's loaded up to throw it as Drake kind of gets into his break. So it's nothing incredible, but to me that's, some very, very minor anticipation, kind of just put it on there to point it out. But overall, this is more of just a nice job from Drake being able to win these routes. And I think he's, pretty consistently been a winner. I mean, there's a reason we went to him on 4th down this game, and he showed up for us. So it's a great throw. It's a great catch. And it's just another rep for Michael Penix to build on. Tough miss for me here. We're basically running 4 verts with Bijan on a choice route over the middle, and we just don't put a good enough ball out there. And honestly, we probably should have got intercepted. So this, to me, is on Michael Penix. I think Bijan makes the right choice in terms of the route. I think he has space where if we put him in stride here, he might be running in for a touchdown. So, it's a tough miss for me. So again, essentially running 4 verts. We have outside players going up. Then we kind of have these like seam routes coming up here from Pitts. And I want to say that's either Ray. And the ball really is Bijan coming up here. Make a move on this way. You either go left, you either go right. He goes left. The throw's there to be made. It's probably a touchdown if we make it in stride. So right here, waiting for it. Good, clean pocket. Bijan makes his move. We got to hit him here. Because if we hit him here, I mean, y'all can see as well as I can, it's Bijan one-on-one outside. I mean, you just can't put this inside. I think it's a pretty tough miss for me. And again, we're just lucky it's not intercepted. So, yeah, that one's on Penix. Again, there's no pressure here, and we're going to kind of focus on the ball placement. So right here, that's just way too inside. You got to put it out in front, man. You can't slow your running back down. You can't give the linebacker an opportunity to bounce the ball over the middle. That's a disaster waiting to happen like we see here. So, yeah, kind of lucky to get out of this one with just a pass breakup. All right, once again, we're going to focus more on process than the throw. I think we can all tell Penix just misses his throw, but I like what he does with his eyes, kind of keeps the middle field before he turns left and throws it late to Drake. Just kind of takes the safety out of the play on this one. If he throws a better ball, I think Drake London's obviously able to catch this. You can just see he keeps his eyes in the middle, then he looks left, and he just throws it. So it's really good eye discipline. It's something I've been, paying more attention to lately. I think I was doing a good job kind of noting it in my previous videos, but right here, Drake London, he's just going to win. He's going to set this corner out. But Penix, he's going to keep his eyes right down the middle here. I know my line's not very straight. Just bear with me, guys. But, yeah, so he's going to keep his eyes right down the middle here. Keeps his safety occupied. Safety's late, rotating over. So if he just puts this in a little bit of a better spot, I think we're pretty confident Drake London's going to catch that football. So just to miss, again, this is going to happen when you have a vertical passing quarterback. You're not going to get the highest completion percentage necessarily. I trust that Penix will start connecting on these. I think he threw this ball in particular pretty well in college. Overs, corners, deep outs, go routes. These are all throws I thought he threw pretty well in college. He was a very, very good vertical passer. But throw in the season, game 2, not a whole lot of reps to kind of point at. So, I don't know. Well, again, chalk this one up to a miss, but I like the process. I like keeping that middle field safety held and then raising up to throw this one. We just miss it. So, tough one. All right, going back to the well a little bit, we saw last week shallow cross get some good yardage against the Giants. So we're doing it right here. I actually think Ray makes the wrong read. Now, he more than makes up with it, up for it rather, with this awesome play after he's not actually found to be down. But, against man coverage, you usually want to keep running. I think if he keeps running here, he's in a better position to potentially take this upfield. He stops, makes the catch, gets the first down. So, I'm not going to terrorize him about it, but I do think traditionally you would like to see him keep running. So we got this over that kind of functions a little bit like a pick route. We got Drake coming up here, settling. Then we have the ball going to Ray here on the cross. And again, he's going to end up settling right about here, but I think he should really just keep running and go. So we'll talk about that. So again, right here, man coverage, following Ray, Penix right here. If Ray just keeps moving, I think you're in a decent position to take this up the sideline. But Ray settles, and that allows them to close the space and make this tackle. And unfortunately for us, fortunately for us, he's not actually tackled here, and he's able to get some good yardage after the catch. So it worked out, but I just think, in terms of how I'm reading that play, I think Ray needed to keep running. I'm not in the room, so maybe not, but traditionally, I think you're supposed to keep running versus man coverage. So either way, it's not on Penix. He makes the right read. He makes the right throw. We get a good first down. So nice to see them going back to the well in terms of play calling, coming back to the shallow cross concept. And yeah, got us a good game. All right, next one here, you're going to see the Falcons motioning Kyle Pitts to get this stack formation with Drake London. They're just going to be running a hammer concept. I think Penix makes the right read. I think the defense makes a good play. I also think we can do our rookie quarterback a favor and hold on to the football. I think, he throws this. Maybe he could throw it a hair earlier, but it's kind of hard to say. I think he's relatively on time with it. So all a hammer concept really is inside receivers going to come up and run a hitch, and then behind them you're going to have a player coming up and kind of running an in route. And essentially whatever the defender that's going to be kind of in this window does, if he comes down to take away this, you throw it to Drake. If he gets back and takes away the Drake window, you throw it to Pitts. So right here you can see that zone defender right here. He is in front of Pitts. So that opens up this entire window right here. So, again, to me, Penix is reading this, and he throws it pretty much on time. I think the safety just makes a really good play on it. To me, this isn't late. Again, I think you would love to see London hold on to that, but it's also probably more of a good defensive play than it is a drop by London. But Penix reads the play right, makes the play decisively. Other teams are going to make plays too, so hard for me to get too up in arms. Again, I like that he kind of holds the safety a little bit, then he looks left, and again, throwing this decisively in rhythm. I think maybe he could settle him a little bit more. That wouldn't be a bad idea. If you put this more back shoulder, kind of feel that safety out, that would probably be more optimal. But I'm not in practice. I don't know how they rep this. I don't want to, put too much blame there. But if he could have settled him down there, maybe we're talking a completion. But either way, you can see the safety comes in here, just knocks it loose. Good play by him, is what it is. But Penix made the right read, made the right throw. Just unfortunate. All right, next one here, we're going to be hitting Drake London on the out route. I think what's interesting for me on this one is the previous play, we had missed him. So they have faith in Penix coming back to the same play call, essentially. Don't think he's going to miss the same throw twice. He doesn't. He throws a good ball to Drake. We get out of bounds. It's great. So, again, nothing crazy here. Clear out. Pair it with that quick out coming up. And that's where we're going with the ball. We know where we want to go with the ball. Off the snap. One hitch. Rip that thing with a little bit of anticipation. Again, nothing crazy. But the ball's out of his hand as Drake London is coming out of his break. That is anticipation. It's nothing crazy, but it is good, and you see it gives him plenty of room to work with on the sideline to catch this thing. So, easy rep again. He had missed this throw in the previous play, so I think it's nice that they went back to it, said, hey, we don't think that's you. Let's give you another rep. And he throws a really good ball here. Gets Drake out of bounds. Anticipation, all that. Great rep. All right, this one's a real shame to me because I think process-wise, this is one of the few ones that I'm not happy with what Penix decided to do. I think he's hunting for this big post route, which I think is the right thing to do. Middle field open, you have a post route. All right, we want to try to throw that thing. So he's hunting for it, doesn't like the look, and then he kind of gets his arms down versus kind of just scooting right and looking to throw, because I think he really could have hit Drake London on this. So again, you're going to see him coming up on kind of this over route. You're going to see Mooney, which is where he really wants to go, on this big post. And then you have Drake London as kind of this late backside end window. And if you really want to get technical, you also have Bijan coming over here to the flat and running back. So, and I guess I may as well draw up the whole fucking play. So we have Pitts as like a check down. So anyways, right here at the top of his snap, middle field open. This is a premium look for the big post because there's no middle field hold. So if he just ripped this thing and said, all right, I'm going to trust Mooney to go make a play on it, I would get it. In fact, I'd be totally fine with it. And once you make this decision to move, I think he's a little too panicked here. I think what he needs to do, there's no pressure in his face. I mean, there's this guy, but like he's not really in your face. I think you need to be calm, get to your read, hit Drake London right here over the middle. Instead, even right here, I'm surprised he didn't toss this, to be honest. I don't know if he was looking more towards Mooney, if he was looking towards Drake, but I would have liked to see him maybe try to feed this thing in here. But I get it. I think this player flashed. He didn't like the window to Drake. So I actually understand why he pump fakes this. I just think he maybe could have made that play. Instead, at this point, don't make a bad play disaster. You're clearly not comfortable with what you're seeing. Just go get a run. This is perfectly fine with me. I just think, in terms of process, I think you should have thrown the post. You see middle field open with a post route to your number 2 receiver. You got to throw it. And if you don't like that, you have to get to Drake London. You can't get your eyes down. So again, right here, he wants Mooney. You just got to rip that thing. All right, let's not rip it. Let's get to Drake London coming over the middle right here. All right, we don't do that. Now we're going to, okay, maybe I can hit Drake London late. Wait, no, there's this linebacker over here. All right, I'm just going to scramble to get upfield. That's all fine. I just think we missed 2 throws we could have made here, and that's probably on the day so far from what I've seen. That's probably the only big miss that Penix had in terms of process-wise. He missed some throws, but in terms of the process, I liked what he was doing. On this one, I don't like his decision-making. He just missed it. All right here we're going to see Michael Penix like his one-on-one matchup with Kyle Pitts. Down at the bottom here, throws the alert route, holds the safety with his eyes, throws an absolute seed. We're just not able to hang on to the ball. That's not on Michael Penix. I think he does everything right from process standpoint here. Obviously, he throws a great football. You have to catch this. When you have a vertical passing wide receiver like Michael Penix, these downfield opportunities are going to be there. It doesn't mean they're always going to be there. He's going to miss some throws. But overall, when the throws are there to be made, you have to capitalize. So again, when I say alert throw, pre-snap, this is like as big an indicator you're ever going to get a one-on-one. And this just means if you, as the quarterback, like this matchup, you like Kyle Pitts versus whoever this guy is, and you want to throw it, your whole job is to just hold this safety. That's your whole job. And this is what Michael Penix does right here. I think he does a really good job keeping his eye in the middle of the field. Look right. All right, we're throwing this thing. And he throws an absolute dot. We just drop it. Very unfortunate. We dropped this. Luckily, I think the next play is that big 4th down to Drake London, which we're going to break into here in just a second. So it didn't haunt us. And obviously, Pitts had the big touchdown catch to kind of have a little bit of redemption here. But that's just a tough drop on a really nice throw. All right, 4th down. Got to have it. Michael Penix to Drake London, anticipation out route. Drake London obviously wins extremely hard here, but it's an awesome play from both ends. Like, obviously, you don't get to make this throw unless your wide receiver wins, but also, throwing this with some anticipation, holding that middle field safety again with your eyes, just ripping this thing. It's awesome. I love it. So we're going to talk about it. It's the sort of throw that gives you a little bit of hope that obviously, the Falcons lost a tough game. Playoff hopes are on a string, but it's the sort of thing that gives you hope that maybe, just maybe, this will work out long term. So this is where Penix is going to be throwing the ball. He's holding that middle field safety, and then he's going to look here, and he's throwing. Look at this anticipation. The ball's in the air. The ball is in the air right there. Drake hasn't broken out yet. So again, all those minor anticipation throws that led up to this is the accumulation. It's already halfway through the air as he comes out of his break. And when you have that sort of anticipation throw, it allows this sort of yards after catch play. And again, this is something he did last week extremely well too. Throwing with anticipation, it's been really impressive, especially outside the numbers, but also inside the numbers too. I've seen him hit some nice anticipation throws. And his eye discipline with the safeties has been really nice too. So awesome play and a gotta have it situation from Michael Penix in primetime. All right, Michael Penix Jr. to Kyle Pitts in the red zone, ties this one up late. Obviously, we don't come away with the win, but this is an awesome moment. This is an awesome throw. There's not a whole ton of analysis I'm even going to throw in here other than I think this is an absolute sick rip of the football for Michael Penix. So there's nothing crazy here. We're just going to see Kyle Pitts come up and kind of rip it towards the red zone on kind of that, post route. And, yeah, I mean, he just rips it. I don't. There's nothing else for me to really say. The throw's, there to be made. It's not super tight window, but certainly this player back here has an opportunity to make a play on the ball if you don't throw this with some real velocity. So, absolute seed. I love it. Awesome moment for Kyle Pitts. Awesome moment for Michael Penix. We got one more throw to break into after this, and then we'll kind of talk about his performance overall. All right, last one here. This is just Michael Penix ripping it down the sideline to Mooney. We're going to talk more about his overall performance in this particular play. Obviously, this was a big shot. They gave us a chance to hit that game-winning field goal. We don't call the timeout here. Mooney's not able to get out of bounds, which is unfortunate. So it's a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth, obviously. But I think overall from Penix this game, he missed some throws, which wasn't a shocker to me. I think he has bouts of inaccuracy. But as a quarterback overall, I think he's one of those guys who when he gets in a rhythm, he can really pick you apart. And I thought he was in a rhythm late in this one. I think he was a little bit more off and on throughout the game. Certainly you've seen the anticipation, you've seen the eye discipline, you've seen the arm talent. And those are all big things that we can build on moving forward in this offense, especially as he gets more comfortable with his reads. Again, I don't think he has missed many reads in my mind as I've watched him these past couple of games. I think the only big read that he's missed was that Dagger opportunity to Drake London. I would have liked to see him hit that or the post to Mooney. But that said, even when he missed it, he didn't make a bad play disaster. He went there and scrambled and got 3 or 4 yards, and I think we converted the next down. So there's lots of stuff to be encouraged about, especially going into year 2 with the head coach and offensive coordinator, the stability there, and another year in the same system, both for offense and defense, I think will be big. So, the season's not over. Maybe New Orleans does something for us against Tampa. It's not out of the question. I was a Spencer Rattler fan last year in college, so we'll see if my guy can pull it off for us. But overall, I'm not super upset about this loss. I think it's very disappointing, but I think, I hoped we'd win. I didn't think we'd win, so, it kind of went the way I expected. And really, you're just hoping to build on this season for next. So, for what it's worth, I feel good about everything moving forward. I think having a guy at quarterback is such a big thing, and Penix so far through 2 games has looked like that. Hopefully he finishes strong at this 3rd game, and we have a lot of optimism going into the offseason or maybe even the playoffs. So we'll see what happens.